Nice call, everyone. I'm super happy and excited to have you guys here. Let's just all make sure we keep bringing in some more people. We keep making some noise in the chat. But I'm super happy and grateful to be the host of tonight's call. Hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful day so far, and also that the start of the week been amazing. And I'm just so grateful for all the value we've been able to have throughout the week. We started off, or we ended last week with the Sunday with Robert Hollis, and then Monday we had double educators with Hugo and Ivan, and now today we have this special builders call with all the people that have made the decision that they wanna bring their business to the next level, together now with Elite Ambassador Korab, which I'm super, super grateful for to have on tonight's call. And I just want to share a little story how we got introduced to each other for the first time. So I had some random guy text me on Instagram like, "Yo, I'm from Brazil. I wanna launch a business with you guys. Can you jump on a call?" And then he said he only speaks Portuguese and Spanish. I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. What should I do? So I texted in the 25K chat and like, "Yo, anyone here?" And then I saw Korab on another call, and I remember he spoke Spanish. I just randomly reached out to him like, "Yo, man, I have a guy that speaks Spanish. Could you help me with a call?" And he was directly like, "Yeah, for sure, man. Of course, I'm here to help." And I'm like, "Yo, that's great." And then we realized that this guy was just some professional network marketer scammer from Brazil. But that doesn't really matter because I'm just so grateful for. Just because of that message, I now got introduced to Korab. So, anyways, I asked him for jumping on a private call, and yeah, I asked for 5 minutes. I think it ended up with 95 minutes for that call, which was just incredible. It was so much value, so great perspectives, and I'm just super grateful that I got introduced with you, Korab, and I just felt like we have the same values in the industry. We look at the industries in same ways, and I'm just really like the way of how you were representing yourself, how you were talking about the business with different perspectives, and yeah, it was just yeah, really great connecting with you. I'm looking forward to get to know you more in the future, to meet you on different events and conventions. And I know these people in this call will not take this for granted. It's just the people that want to really make sure that we bring Scandinavian out to the next level. And I know you have multiple years of experience. You built an organization with thousands of people. And I know this call gonna help every single one of us. I'm just super grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. And everyone, give it up in the chat for Grab for taking his time and energy for us here today. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, Emil. I really appreciate your kind words. If you guys can hear me fine, just put thank you in the chat. Thank you to Emil because he was the one. He said, Korab, I would like you to be on a call with my team. And I'm like, let's do it. Why not? So I'm pleased. I'm grateful to be here. At certain point, I'll start using my iPad as a whiteboard because I'm the writing guy. I still have pens around me, even in the iPad. I have a iPad pen, and then I have a pen that I have to keep it in my hand because I'm the old school guy that still feels like if you have a pen, you are like focused to do something. All right. I think that comes from a high school or whatever. Anyway, I'll try real quick to tell you guys a little bit about my story so you understand where I come from and where I'm going. Right now, I'm in Orlando, Florida. I call it the House of Mickey Mouse because everybody comes to Orlando only to go to Disney. Nobody cares about people that live here. Only they care about Mickey Mouse and the rest. So if that's the case, if one vision of one person managed to build a city around a theme about a concept, that tells me a lot. Okay, Walt Disney picked a place that there was nothing here. So you guys know. Does anybody live in Florida from the call? I don't think so. I see the names and nobody has Floridian name. No, I'm just kidding. Like every name is different. So I don't... Okay, so in Florida, what is a lot? It's for every resident of Florida, there is 2 to 3 alligators. So that nobody tells you that. So you know the alligators, they say, ah, you think like it's in the movie? Those are alligators 4 or 5 meter long, huge. So when you see them, you're like, okay, this is serious. Nobody tells me that. Anyway, but I wasn't born. I wasn't born in Florida. I was born in a country that doesn't exist. I was born in 1981 in a country called Yugoslavia, which some of you remember from the news. Okay? So since the year I was born in 1981 until I left, all I knew was wars because Yugoslavia, we started in 81 with problems, and then 91 we had a problem in Croatia, well, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, and Kosovo. So on all these times, I was growing there. So from born until 19, I'm living in that environment. So you guys know, if you live in Scandinavia, I'm happy because we always thought Scandinavia as a dream place. That's why a lot of people from Croatia, from Bosnia, from Kosovo are now in Scandinavia because they escaped in 89, 90, 91. So because for us was a safe place where at least they're not going to try to kill us. That was the mentality. So when you grow up in that scarcity mindset, the life is totally different than when you grow up in somewhere where there's a lot of abundance and a lot of peace. Okay, so my first 19 years of life, as much as I try to make it funny, and they know me in South America, that I'll tell you, I lived in South America a long time. They tell me he's a guy from a country that doesn't exist, because I tell them I was born in Yugoslavia, but Yugoslavia doesn't exist. So they're like, how, your country doesn't exist? So they imagine that country disappeared. Obviously, we in Europe, we know that is a lot of division and stuff, right? So it's very funny when they talk about me, because they're like, oh, that's a guy that was born in a country that doesn't exist. So it's very, very funny. Anyway, so at the age of 19, a miracle happened in my life, and I get the visa, tourist visa for United States. So what I do, like everybody from that part of Balkans, I jump on a plane and I go as tourist. I come to United States and I decide to stay here. Okay, that was over 20 years ago. Because back then too, the only way you would leverage the future was going to a country which was living in that moment, right? For example, for me, arriving in New York was the only way I felt like I can be somewhere where I can have playing field, playing field, you know. So well, I arrived in New York and I followed the traditional path, because my parents, every time we had an issue, a problem financially, my parents always say that the problem was because they didn't finish their university. Okay, so when you grow up that your parents, everything that you don't have, blame university, what do? You go and study in university because you think that's the solution to everything in your life. And then I chose two majors, because in the United States they allow us to have two majors parallel. So I study political science, from Yugoslavia, of course, political science, and finance. Okay, so I choose two different worlds. One, a lot of negotiation, a lot of thinking about the future and everything, and the other one is finance, numbers. Okay, trading, everything else. Anyway, so as I'm finishing my university, the the financial crisis hit in 2008. So now that I wanted to work in Wall Street, everybody they're kicking out from Wall Street because the economy was going down. So I'm like, what the F? I mean, I escaped from Yugoslavia. Now I come here, I do everything good. And now the market is destroyed because my roommate was working for Lehman Brothers. I don't know if you guys remember, Lehman Brothers was one of the biggest financial institutions that went bankrupt during the 2008 financial crisis. Some of you are very young to remember, but it was real, okay? And that's coming soon too. There's another one coming. So be ready and collect a lot of money, because be ready. So I was 6 years old. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So let's not talk ages and numbers, okay? Let's just talk let's make it as examples, okay? Now I'm just kidding. I don't care. I'm proudly 43 years old. And so now I finish the university. I do everything right. I want to go to work in Wall Street, but there's nobody hiring. So I say, okay, what do? I launch a business. Because in my third year in university, I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which in network marketing, they recommend a lot. But in traditional world, nobody talks about that book. So I read that book and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Maybe being a business owner will be better than working for somebody else, especially in this bad economy. So I launched a company. I launched a clothing line called Black Horn, okay, in New York City. I'm getting out of the college, no idea about fashion, okay, and I had a partner, and she said, "No, no, I'll be in charge of design, coloring, da da da, trends, everything." And I'm like, "Good," because I don't know nothing about fashion. Yeah. So anyway, we start that. We put all our savings. Well, she more than I did because I was coming out of the college. So you can imagine, like, okay. And we start. In that time, I work hard because did you any of you have you guys had a chance to visit New York City, Manhattan, New York? Yes? No? Okay. I recommend you because it's a unique jungle. It's different from everything else. See? It's very, very important you go because you see, so it's very fast paced. It's like those, it's like you get so much distractions all time that it just becomes normal to you. So when you go to live somewhere, okay, Alex was there last year. Perfect. I hope you had a good time, Alex. Yeah, I know that probably you figured it was a very expensive place, and that's true. So anyway, so I'm launching the company in the fashion world. I don't know nothing about fashion, so here it is like my design team is telling me how to dress, and they're telling me, nope, tomorrow we have the Japanese buyers, so don't come dressed like this. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, no, you have to buy this clothes and this color. And I'm like, come on, please. Now you're going to tell me how to dress too. So anyway, like I do that 9 years. And then something happened amazing in life as I was going to throw the towel because when you have your own business, especially when you're a small business, you as the owner or the founder or one of the founders, sometimes you end up doing everything, you know, like our business plan, like we would do a knitwear. So knitwear is like a thicker things. We would do a lot of things for, we used to work with a German company too, which was Gergens Group. Gergens Group is pretty big one. And the CEO is Bjorn. And I used to work with them for a while too. They have different brands in Germany. They have different brands, very, very for teenagers. Okay. Anyway, so I'm working with them. Then 9 years later, I sell the company. Okay. And I say, yes, I'm never going to work again. At this point, I'm 32 and like, I'm retired. I have some money. I have some real estate. That's it. I worked enough. I was living in New York. That counts for three. And that's it. And well, then I decide to go live in Lima, Peru. So then, now here is this guy born in Yugoslavia that lives in New York style and then goes to Lima, Peru. So Lima, so you guys know, is very chill because in the Pacific Ocean. So Lima, Peru is very nice. Like a lot of people from Europe go and they love it because it's a slow pace. It's very nice weather. It's the ocean. It's like San Diego, but with less homeless and way less expensive. Okay. Well, that's very American joke because now in some cities it's a lot of homeless. Anyway, uh, so I go to Lima, and one day they invite me. So in Lima, like when I get there, I sell the company, so I have some savings. We have some real estate that we invested before, so I'm managing that, managing people that are renting this and that. And one day they tell me, Korab, since you come from a business world and this and that, we invite you on a business presentation. I'm like, okay. So I go dress up because from New York, when it's business, you put shirt, you put tie, you put suit, you know. So I dress up nice and I go to a hotel and there's two guys, 18 years old, selling me this network marketing company with some juice for health. And their suits are not trendy, two size bigger than their actual size. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck? What businesses? What are these guys talking? These are kids because they're telling me it's business. So I'm like, where are the business people? Anyway, so I listen to everything, and then at one of the presenters, he comes up and he says, "What I like about this that we teach you how to do sales and things like that." So I listen to the word sales, and before that moment, I always considered myself as introvert because my parents always told me you're good in math, but you're not good to sell. I don't know if somebody had that parents that told you that you're good in this, but you're not good in that. However, when I had my clothing brand, I had people that were doing sales in my company. I used to pay each one back then $650 per week salary plus 13% commission on sales. Okay? So for me, for 9 years, I thought I'm not a good salesperson because that's what my parents taught me. If this guy tells me that they can teach me sales, I pay whatever so they teach me. So I come to the network marketing industry 12 years ago, not because I wanted a business opportunity. It's because the guy said something that it clicked with me. And that click was sales. And this is my wife. She doesn't want to come on a camera. Okay. She brought me a coffee because she's Colombian. So we drink a lot of coffee. Okay. Salud.
Now I can't hear you.
Sorry, I touched my microphone. So I didn't realize where's everybody from. I was saying Sverige, Suomi, Deutschland. And Norway is Norge. Okay. And Switzerland is Swiss. Bulgaria. Oh, neighbor. Norge. Okay, listo. Or okay. So sorry, I sometimes I say words in Spanish because I used to live a long time. So anyway, so here I come to a network marketing industry because I want to learn sales. Not that I cared about business, not that I cared about anything because I didn't know nothing. But then usually us from Europe, we have something in common that we are very analytical. So for me, once I paid, I went home and I started doing research, investigating what is this? How does it work? And then as I understood, to me it made sense a lot as a business why network marketing you can make decent income. Okay? For example, I tell to everybody up to $1 million a year, network marketing might be the best business opportunity, up to $1 million a year. You know, if you want to make 1 million a month, maybe it takes different, or maybe then you have to expand to different businesses. If you want to make 10, $20 million a month, yes, maybe you can do it, but maybe you have to expand too much. Okay. But most of people that we know in life, 99% or more, don't make $1 million a year. So for me, it was like, okay, this makes sense. Because if in my company, I used to pay people 13% of sales plus a salary, I said it makes sense if the company pays me pretty much the same, just that now I don't have to carry with accountants, with lawyers, with design, and none of that. Okay. So now, before I join for sales, and then I start seeing it as a real business. Okay. Well, then I lived 3 years in Peru. Then from Peru, I go to live in Colombia. And in Colombia, it makes click to me, and then I start building very big. So in Colombia, you guys know I was in the company called iMarkets Live, IML, or whatever, IM Academy. Some of you know it. Uh, with my team, at one point, we had an event of 12,000 people in Bogota. You know, around 3,000 people in Colombia have this tattoo. And this is a Viking tattoo. It's not even nothing to do with our, because we had a team called Delta. Okay. So when the COVID happened in 2020, we were bored because we were shut down in the house. So we had nothing to do. So one day I come up with the idea and I say, I want a tattoo. And I have only one tattoo here from the national tattoo, the nationalist tattoo, and then this one. And this one is the Nine Noble Truths of Vikings. Okay. So it's whatever, fidelity, discipline. You guys should know this. I don't know if you guys know it anyway. So I do this, and then since it was COVID, I put it me and two other chairmen with me. We go and we do the same day, and then next day, eight other chairmen from our team make the tattoo, and then before you know it, in 1 month, 3,000 people with this tattoo. So when we do on the events, people see the tattoo and they're like, so if I join, do I have to make the tattoo? We're like, no, no, this is not nothing, nothing. They're like, okay, I thought because I see. And then not even us, because I say sometimes guys, we do all kinds of tattoos, but then the girls start putting the tattoo. Like I had some girls that they have no tattoo in their body, and then they have this. I'm like, please ask me because I'll tell you wait because maybe it's not your noble truths, your values. Okay. Anyway, so that was something what we created, but I think the reason why that happens, guys, is because we as leaders we always led people from the example, but not just the example to work. You guys remember that I told you that I have a degree in finance. So I love finance. Okay? So for me, everything that I do in business world, it has to make sense to my end goal financially. Okay? And now I'm going to start sharing my iPad. Can you give me hold on. Can you give me a co-host and the other name, please? I mean, because I want to write down. Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay.
You're welcome.
It, can you guys write down number two if you understand me so far, or am I confusing you? Because honestly, I think in Spanish nowadays, I try to speak English. I live in America, so it's complicated. I lived 3 years in Peru, 8 years in Colombia. My wife is Colombian. My son was born in Colombia, and we have been in Orlando for 8 months. Okay, so I'm new in Orlando, Florida. I'm American somehow, but anyway, like I was living all over the place. Okay, and perfect, perfect. Let's go. Okay, so the way I like to explain people, one second. Oh yeah, this is what I want to explain. Okay, the way I explain people why we do what we do or why we should do what we should do, it's because at the end of the day, what's the end goal financially? What is the end goal financially? What's the final goal in your financial life? You can write it down in the chat. Freedom. Perfect. Perfect, Jonas. The end goal financially is financial freedom. Okay? Some people call it financial liberty. People call it financial freedom. Some people call it pension. Okay? It's like financial a pension is a system of financial freedom when you retire. Okay? When you retire from a job or whatever. However, in today's world, instead of waiting 40 years to retire, I think if you do things right, in 5 to 10 years, you can retire definitely, financially speaking. Okay? So for me, every time I talk to a prospect or a team member, I tell them my purpose to be here next to you and to teach you is because I want you to have financial freedom. Okay? That's the end goal. That's why we work. Once you are financially free, if you choose to work, perfect. If you choose to do non-profit, perfect. If you choose to help kids, if you choose to do whatever, that's perfect. But first thing, I think it's our obligation to to get this in our financial life, financial freedom. Okay? Because life is totally different when you do something because you want to do it, and it's totally different is when you do something because you have to do it. Okay? So that's you got to know that everything that you do in your working life, in your business life, always have to lead you towards this goal that I'm writing down here. Okay? If not, you're wasting your time. I'm sorry to tell you, you're wasting your time. Okay? Because life with time doesn't get easy. We get older. And as we get older, some things look more difficult than when you were 20 or when you were 25 or when I was 20, when I was 25 or 30. You know, when I was 20, I could go to the club, stay until 5, go shower, go to school, listen to the classes, and go to work. Today at 43, you think I can do that? I do that, and I'm in the bed for 3 weeks. You know, like the energy is not the same. You know, so it's very important to understand that if you are here, this is what you should focus on your financial freedom. Okay. But what is financial freedom? Because everybody talks about it. A lot of books sell about it. A lot of people sell courses about it. But what is really a financial freedom? So, who tells me what is financial freedom? Not so fast, please, and not too many at the time because it's very, very strong. Perfect. Perfect. You can live off 4% of your investments. Okay. Now, everybody sees investment different things. Okay. For some people, investment is real estate. Okay. For other people, investment is portfolio of stocks and bonds and whatever. For some people, investing in indices is investment. Okay. For some people, Bitcoin is investment. But I don't care which one you choose, as long as you choose one that you like and then you trust most, and you start working on this plan. Okay. And also, so you guys know, nowadays you can find a lot of information about all kinds of investments. If you're gonna build your financial freedom, I tell you to go more for more conservative paths instead of taking high risk paths. Okay? Because at the investment at the end, high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward. Okay? So I don't care if you choose to mix them all or you choose one in particular, you have to learn along the way which one is going to be your portfolio of investment where you're going to build your financial freedom. Okay? Very, very important. So this 4%, how does it help you? It's very simple. Imagine I have a $1 million portfolio and it gives me 4% return on investment annually. How much money is giving me a year? 40%, $40,000. If you divide this by 12, how much is it? 3,300. So if you, in today's life, you can live with $3,300 or euros, a life that you have today, meaning that at the moment that you can accumulate a wealth of $1 million, you can be financially free. Okay? Does it make sense? Because Emil is giving me the feedback because he's responding to me. I know that he has understanding what we're talking about. But for the rest of you, are you guys, does it make sense what I'm trying to explain? Perfect, perfect. Because why I tell you that? Because honestly, I studied finance and nobody gave me this kind of information. Because if I would have known this from 19 when I arrived in US, I would have had way more than $1 million saved. Way, way more. But when you're young, you don't know what to do. So you make more money, you buy a better phone. You make more money, you buy a better car. You make more money, you buy better sneakers. You buy a better watch. You buy a better computer. So the idea is because we don't have a goal, we don't have a clarity where we're going, every distraction around us is made to spend our money. Like the marketing department thinks all day how to take Korab's money from his pocket. Like how the F we take Korab's money out of the pocket. So the only way yeah, they will not take it out of pocket if I have clarity where I'm going. But the moment that I'm confused where I'm going, the distraction will kick in. I will take all my money away. Okay. So my recommendation is start thinking about this because 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, as much as it sounds a lot today, down the line 5 years is not a lot of money. Believe me, anyone that is willing to work hard can make it. Okay? I promise you this because today in 2025, we live in digital world. The life is totally different. When my parents, when they lived in Yugoslavia between 1991 and 1999, their salary was $30, $40 a month. They cannot dream about this. That's why I know that for them it's hard to teach me this. But today, with having everything online, you can make US income, Japan income, or whatever, Switzerland income, and you can live in Bulgaria, where the cost of living, I imagine, is way less than living in New York or living in Zurich or whatever city you are. You know, I know that cost of living in Scandinavia is kind of high too. I know that, I understand. But then probably income too balances with cost of living too. Okay? Or when you make money digitally, you decide, hey, you know what? I'll go spend 6 months in Mexico, in Cancun, and if I spend $2,000 in Cancun, I can live good, but then I'm making 10,000 because they're paying me with Scandinavian standards, and I have $8,000 to save. Now the question becomes, how do I make so I don't pay 60% taxes? So I have to go somewhere where that doesn't kill me. Okay. So as you guys can know, as you can tell, I'm kind of very informed about about the financial movement and everything, because that becomes your next step in the future. When you start making decent income, you start thinking, okay, I know that there's two biggest partners in my life, uh, tax, government, and my partner, my wife, husband, whatever. So these are the two people most important that was gonna take most money out of you if things don't go right. So it's one always have to be kind of thinking good about this. Okay, so the good thing is that I call the financial freedom. I divide it in two phases, phase one and phase two. Phase one is first the financial freedom that will give you freedom. So today, as you live today, you don't have to depend on anybody. Okay, so you build a portfolio that you don't depend on anybody else. Okay, thank you, thank you. Is this a joke, David, or is it okay? Uh, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, uh, financial freedom number phase two is to build a freedom of your dream life. Okay? Because maybe your dream life is not to live off 3,300 euros a month, but that's your phase one. That will give you peace of mind that you know that you can live even if you don't work. But then from there, you can build towards phase two. Phase two might be 20,000, 25, 30, $40,000, depending on the life that you choose to live. Okay? Why I'm saying this? Because when I started my clothing company, at one point I had good months that my profit was exceeding $200,000 a month. Okay, but because I wasn't ready, because I didn't have no plan, I had no idea in my head I'll be the next Ralph Lauren, so I'll just get better and better and better, and I would spend the whole money. And some people are like, are you crazy? Like, how the hell could you spend that much money? Well, ask my ego. Taking peoples to dinners, taking peoples to New York City clubs. Everybody that was coming, come, stay at my house. You will have everything. Take my cars, do this, do that. Okay? So, what I'm trying to say, guys, if one doesn't have a plan, one fits always on somebody else's plan. So for me, my goal for you is to start having your own plan. Okay? Well, we are 35 minutes in. Okay, so now well, I'll tell you why I tell people that Akash is a good vehicle to start building their financial life. Okay? So even with my prospects, I talk a lot about these things so you guys know. Because for me, I always tell my prospect, I want to know what your goal is, what you're trying to get. If you come here thinking that you're going to get rich in 1 week, 1 month, I'm not going to help you. Better go look for somebody else because I'm not going to lie to you just so you sign up and then tomorrow we don't have friendship, we don't have nothing, and you go outside and you talk bad about me because you say Korab uh, lied to me because he wanted to make $25 or whatever from me. Okay, because sometimes people think that we get rich off their sign up. So I rather tell them, hey, if you want to work with me, I'll give you what I do, how I help people, and then you decide if it's something that you're interested or not. Okay. However, I work with predominantly Latino community. Like I pretty much, all the trainings and everything is in Spanish. Okay. I barely speak English, honestly. Like really barely speak English. Okay. And in America, the good thing is that Spanish and English are almost hand to hand. So you can speak Spanish to everybody and everybody has to find the way to answer to you. So that's why I barely speak English. Okay. The good thing with our Akashic system is that we allow people since day one to have multiple streams of income. Okay. And I usually divide our multiple streams of income into four. Okay. One, marketing part. Two, how you guys say challenge account fund challenge funded challenges? How do you guys say that? Challenges. Okay. Three, Zeus or Zeus. And number four, my personal account. Okay. If at any point if this becomes too financial, too boring, let me know and I'll talk about something else. I'll talk about, I don't know, Portugal beating Spain in soccer or something. I don't know, something where it's more fun. Okay. Don't ask me to talk about the Eurovision because I don't follow that. Okay, perfect. So these are the four sources of income that you can have with Harshan Akashics. Okay. However, what I've learned in life, to make money, you need either or. You either need capital or money, or you need time. If you don't have time and you don't have capital, you're fucked. I don't know how you're gonna make money because you either need one or another. So because sometimes people tell me, Korab, I'm broke and I don't have time. I'm like, so what the hell you want me to tell you, man? Like, what? Come on, like, doesn't make sense what you're talking. Because if somebody tells me I don't have time because I'm making money, congrats, keep going, save your money, invest it, okay? But if you tell me I'm not making money and I don't have time, then what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are the decisions that you're making in your life? You know? Anyway, so let's be more polite. Uh, Marketing, I tell people, doesn't require money, doesn't require capital, but see, yes, require time. Okay? For example, for me to build teams of 2, 3, 5, 10, 12, 18,000 people, it requires more time. But Korab, don't you invest nothing in your team? Yeah, with time. Then once your team starts growing, yeah, some of your income you invested back in a business to grow it more. Yes. But initially, for everybody starting from scratch, they just need time and the time well allocated, kind of the organized time. Not even like you don't need somebody that's just starting doing network marketing. They need 2 3 hours a day, 2 3 hours a day maximum. More than that, they're not going to do anything useful. Okay. Therefore, I tell people the first source of income is doing marketing and doesn't require capital, but yes, it requires time. The second one is the challenge. Okay. Challenge two doesn't require more capital, because you get one for free, but yes, requires time. Okay? Why? Because the idea is that the moment that you pass the challenge, you start understanding why you're passing. You understand the basics of trading. You understand what is happening. Okay? For example, to me, I don't agree too much with some people that come and they say, okay, I want to sign up with you. I want to make money, but I don't want to know nothing about it. And I tell them, okay, so you're asking me, I want to buy an Italian restaurant in Florida. I'm paying $1 million, but I don't know. I don't want to know who's the manager. I don't want to know who works there. I don't even care where it is. I just want to make money. That doesn't work like that. If that was the way life works, everybody will be fit, happy, and rich. The fact that most of us are not like Emil fit is because life is not like that. It takes to go and train every day. Okay? That's the truth. Okay? So, as you guys can see, like I'm very, very truthful to the people, which talking about South America is very the contrary what everybody else does there because the Latinos are very good salespeople. So sometimes they can sell everything, even as they say, the moon and the sun, they will sell it to you if you listen to them long enough. Okay, so I go the counter, I go the counter culture, like I talk the other way, the other side. Okay, and also you guys remember, I think the new era of network marketing is the truth marketing because network marketing for many years has been sold as the industry where people rent cars and show on Instagram and sign people up. And then when you sign them up, they realize it's not your car. Yeah? Or lie about things and then people realize it's not true. What I've learned in all these lives, all these years in my life is that business and network marketing is business is based on trust. Okay? So if Emil signs me up, it's because I trust him that I want to work with him. And if 1 week later I realize that he lied to me, the trust is gone. So when the trust is gone, the business is gone because there's nothing there. Okay? So that's why for me, this question actually somebody asked me a long time, not a long time ago, a couple of months ago, Korab, what's the new era of network marketing? I said it's the truth of the marketing, where people don't care to know how much money I make. People don't care to know how much jewelry I have or whatever car I drive. They care how much I care to help them to move forward in life. Because I know that everybody tells you they want to be rich, but that's not what everybody wants. Some people just want extra 500 euros, 1,000 euros to take their kids through a different college or to pay the loan of the house that they cannot move forward. So everybody comes for different. That's why for me, it's very important when I talk to my prospects and with my new team members to go through this process for me to understand where they want to go. Okay? Third source of income. Zeus and copy trading. Okay? We have been waiting for a couple of months. I hope it's less than 9 months. No, it's a joke because 9 months it takes to have a baby. So I don't know about everybody. People ask me every day, Korab, is this ready? I'm like, wait, when it's ready, they will tell us. Wait, don't ask me every day, okay? But anyway, I think we are in the final stages. We are in the final stages. So the third source of income is the copy trading. This one doesn't take time, but what it takes? Capital. Okay? So when the zoo starts, we have to put our own capital. It's not gonna be challenges. So there, people needs to have capital. Okay? Oh, they're having amazing results. Yeah, but if you don't have capital, those results not gonna help you anything. In investment game, capital is very important because maybe we can make 6%, but on 1 million is 60,000. In $1,000 is $60. You made same percentage, but the impact is totally different. And the last one that I recommend my team is to open a trading account in Forex with a broker. Okay? And I'll explain you why. So if you can see this one too, it takes capital, but it doesn't take time. Okay. So if you can see, we have incomes that requires time, and then we have incomes that requires capital. So I ask my uh, my prospect Mar, in this case, Mar. So from these four sources, which one you can have access right away? And she tells me, well, I don't have capital, so I guess I'm just left with marketing and with a trading challenge. I say, perfect. Let's take advantage of that and then build the other two. Okay. But then the goal of this four income sources is for what? You remember it is for what? The goal of these four is to build our financial freedom. Okay. So for me, that's the reason, that's how I try to think of life, where you advance every day, every moment towards the financial freedom that you're looking for. Okay. So at this point right here, when I talk to my prospect, or when it's a new member, team member, I can clearly see where to guide them. Either they will go towards marketing. If they're towards marketing, and I'm very honest with people. I tell them, if you decide marketing, you'll have access to me 24/7 because they pay me to do marketing of the company. But if you decide to take the trading path, I will be there to answer your questions. But honestly, I'm not going to be there 24/7 teaching you how to trade because you're paying tools to do that. So don't expect that I'm going to be your trader on call to call me when you want to cry because you blew up your account because you didn't pay attention to anybody. Okay? So I tell them the truth, and people love it because tomorrow, because we know for people that are new, they get overexcited on trading, they do crazy things, and they cannot come and tell me, Korab, because they even sometimes they come and they say, I'm sorry, I messed it up. And I say, hey, you don't have to apologize to me. That's you. That's your future we're talking about. Because I tell them, my future, my family, I know where I'm going to get. But it's about you here. Mistakes will break you down, will bring you back, not me. Okay, because sometimes they feel like since we are their uplines, that we are the one getting rich from them, and it's not true. Like I tell them sometimes, I make this much money from you, exactly. So don't think that I'm getting rich just because you're in my team, you know? Because at the end of the day, guys, what I do is I work on truth marketing. I tell them the truth from day one, okay? And they decide where they want to go. Okay. So the idea, what I also do then, some people pass their challenges and then they start making their money. So what I want them to do is from this money that they withdraw, not to go buy a new Rolex because the guy at the store tells you that Rolex value goes up. That's bullshit. That's the Swiss guys' amazing strategy, creating a fake supply, blocking the supply, creating a demand for a product that is just like any other watch. You know, honestly, like I have an Apple Watch and it's my favorite watch. It tells me how many steps I walk. It tells me if I drink water or no, if I had sex or no. It tells me everything. So Rolex doesn't tell me that. No, I'm joking. It doesn't have a sex app. Okay, but it has other things. Okay, so when they make money from challenges, I tell them that money is gonna go into their Zeus account and their real trading account. Okay? So if they start seeing results here, I want them to start diversifying their money. Okay. Alex is gonna buy Alex, wait, I'm gonna sell you my Apple link. My affiliate link. And you know what? Today I have a credit card with a bank called Chase Bank here, a JP Morgan Chase. And today I just received an email where they tell me this. Look, everything is affiliate marketing nowadays, huh? Everything for me, affiliate marketing, network marketing is the same thing. Wait, I was finding. Look, hey Korab, refer a friend to either Sapphire card and earn up to 100,000 bonus point. 100,000 points and this card is like $1,000. So they're telling me if I refer somebody with the same credit card that I have, they will give me almost like $1,000, but in points because they cannot give you cash. Otherwise, it will be like they're paying you and whatever. So they give me in points so I can buy whatever I want through their store. So in US, pretty much everything is referral marketing nowadays. Okay. Anyway, so at this point, number four, what I'm trying to say to you guys is that my goal is that my team and everybody that comes through Akash start having these four sources of income. Now, general investment knowledge. Trading is risky or not risky? Of course, it's called speculation. It's the highest risk of investment. That's why the return is high too. Because if you don't want to risky, if you buy S&P 500, you invest in a S&P 500 index, you will make 4% a year after taxes, and you have no risk because you're buying the basket of 500 best US companies. Okay? However, since it's risky, the return is higher. How do I reduce the risk factor on an financial instrument? By diversifying it. Okay? So why I want the people to have money from their challenge, put that money that they will draw Zeus, put the other half in their real trading account, because if I do that in like next 6 months, somebody will start getting $1,000 from their challenge or 2,000, $1,000 from Zeus, $1,000 from their real account, and another 1,000 or 2,000 from marketing. So if you realize, out of nothing, I have their life, financial life, very diversified. Okay, and then at certain point, they'll get to the point that most of their profits they can withdraw and start putting it on the long-term financial freedom fund. Okay, so this is more or less what I was trying to tell you guys today. Now it's good if somebody has any question, if you guys understand me, but I go through the whole story because uh, at one of the seminars that I attended, I heard something called educational marketing. Okay. And just it made sense to me because they were saying that there's some people and some companies that their marketing is educational, where they teach you before they sell you. So this is the path I chose. A lot of my speeches, even my trainings, even for prospects, are a lot of educational marketing. Like I educate them and then I sell them whatever I want to sell. Okay. So this is all what I wanted to share. I don't know if you guys have any question, comment, complaint, open mic right now, and then I'm gonna let you guys go and get some sleep because I think it's almost 10 p.m. in some countries, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 p.m.
Cool,
over here right now. And
cool.
11 in Finland right now, I believe so.
Okay. And why does Finland has another time if they're the same like next to you guys?
I don't know. They want to be special.
But nobody's from Finland here, or yes?
Yes,
Who's from Finland?
Alex is from Finland.
Alex? Okay. My uncle lived in Turku. Okay, Turku I think is a city in the coast. Is I think the port, isn't it?
I was there last weekend
Oh,
in
nice. My
Turku.
uncle used to live there. Yeah, my
Oh,
uncle used to live
perfect,
there. Yeah.
perfect. Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, I'm very curious about your prospecting, funnel or like the system because you have to have an opportunity to share the information, and sharing the information in the DMs or something like that is impossible. So, how do you get to the place where you have this time and space to educate the
Okay.
person before pitching?
Okay. Great question, Alex, because I always do what you have to do in network marketing, and that is the keyword here is prospect. So prospect, well, like most of people when they join network marketing, instead of thinking, how do I learn to prospect? How do I learn to break the ice, to do the first contact, to reach out to people? They're thinking, what do I post so people ask me what do I do and I make money? Okay, so it's attraction marketing versus prospecting. Okay, first of all, I'm not Apple. People don't know me. I'm not that such a big brand. So I'm nobody. So if I expect for people to come and ask me, Korab, please, I want to work with you, where do I pay? I'll starve to death. Okay? Because I'm not that famous. Maybe it's if George Clooney does Akash, maybe for him it's easier to sign up people, or Denzel Washington, or I don't know, some good actor, no? Or Johnny Depp, like Pirate of Caribbean. But other than that, we have to do the work and it's prospect. So Alex, the way I do it, I reach out to people. So every day I send at least 10 to 20 messages to people. And like I said, most of my community is in Spanish, so I do it with Latinos. So that way I don't have to to create a parallel system on English, because right now I have everything in Spanish. Okay. So the way it works, I'll give you the philosophy and then you have to put the words. I say, for example, imagine I see you and I say, hey, Alex, I came across your profile and I see that you and I, we have similar interests. From what I could see is that you like digital businesses as well as trading and investments. Are you still in that world? Okay, why now I know that you do that? Because sometimes I go to Emil's account and I see who follows him. Most of the people that follow him, I assume that they know him because of network marketing or trading. So when I pitch, I know that if they follow Emil, there's 95% chance that they, at one point, they were interested in either in trading or in digital business. Okay, so I don't tell them, hey, I saw you follow Emil and I'm texting you from here, no? But I say, hey, I saw that we have something in common because I think that you like also trading, investing in digital business. So now you tell me, oh yeah, actually, I don't know how he knows, but yes, I'm interested. So I tell you, hey, I have something in common that I would like to share with you. And then I wait for you to respond. If you say yes, of course, then I send you an audio. Even if it's Instagram or Facebook, I send you an audio. I say, hey Alex, thanks man, I appreciate it that you're interested to see what I have in store for you. How about we schedule a call, 20 minutes, I'll explain real quick, and then after that you can make a decision if it's something about you that it might interest you, or if not, never mind. So, for example, before my message, you didn't know that I existed. Now, I send you a voice message. So when I send you a voice message, that creates trust. Because you say, hey, this guy Korab, he seems like a real guy. And the voice, he seems happy. He's excited. So, hey, why not? And then you text me, yeah, Korab, I'm interested. And tell you, perfect. Give me your WhatsApp and I'll text you through WhatsApp and we organize there. Why do I do that? So now I have you even more as a friend, because in sales you have to comply with three things. People have to like you, to know you, and to trust you. Okay? So now when I'm adding you from Instagram to WhatsApp, usually you have in WhatsApp more your friends. Okay? You don't have in WhatsApp everybody. In Instagram, yes, it's more open. But in WhatsApp is mostly your friends. Now, WhatsApp and Instagram belong to the same company, which is what? WhatsApp and Instagram are the same company. It's called Meta, the Facebook company. So now, if we are friends in Instagram and we are friends in WhatsApp, tomorrow when you open your Facebook, imagine who they gonna suggest you to follow, to become friend with. Me. So now you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. You see my family, you see my work, you see my stories. Before you know it, Alex, you see me as your friend. So when we jump on a call, we are not somebody that we don't know each other. We already know each other thanks to social media. Okay? But going back to your original question, I do things that most people are not willing to do. To sit your ass on a chair and text 10 to 20 people every day. You do that every day. Even if you want to do it 5 times a week, I don't care. If it's Monday through Friday, whatever it makes you feel happy. You will become millionaire in network marketing just by doing that. It's very simple, but that's the thing that you can do. Unfortunately, nowadays everybody's looking for what's the next story that I can put on TikTok that will sign up 100 people. Yes, maybe you'll sign up, but you know what? Sometimes the same way you sign them up, same way they leave because there's no connection. This is the industry where we build leaders and the leaders build the business. Okay? So it's very, very important. Did
That was
I
very
did I
powerful.
respond to your question?
Yes, you did. That was very powerful. Thank you. Thank you so
Perfect.
much.
You're welcome. Okay. Any other question? No? So that was the Alex from Finland? Okay.
Can I have another question? Because I'm amazed how
Sure,
no one
go
has any
ahead.
questions. Guys, are you
Yes.
crazy? Are you crazy, guys? Pick his brains. He's there. He don't even take money for us. What the? Okay, let me ask a question. All right. The next question is, when you do the prospecting, what are the
Yes.
indicator that you follow when you're trying to find the right prospect? Because of course, obviously, you're not just shooting out in the forest. So, what do you look up
No, no.
before?
Uh, Alex, actually what I've learned, okay. When you remember that I told you I started network marketing in Peru, right?
Yes.
So I worked so hard that in Peru, I had a leader that wasn't working, but because I needed one rank in that company, I was building his account and he was making money. Okay, so I'll put people on him and everything. So this guy, after me giving like 8 months putting people, because he was in my pay leg or focus leg as I like to call it, so he will make money because I was working hard. And one day he decides to leave and he goes to some pyramid scheme, to some company of investment. And then he talks bad about me all that he can. Okay? And then that hurts me a lot, Alex. Like I was like, this motherfucker. I did everything. I made him make money. He would come to the events like a rock star, dressed in suit, not signing up anyone, man, just because he was positioned. He was my first leader in my focus leg. I would help him because I was like, if I'm gonna put people, I'll rather help him so he gets paid. Because one thing that they will be more grateful. Anyway, so this guy, and then I'm pissed. Anyway, so that company, I finish with that company, and then I go to Colombia. I start from zero in Colombia. I don't know nobody in Colombia. And then one day, I put that I'm in Colombia. I put on an Instagram story, and then this girl, she texts me, "Hey, Korab, are you in Bogota? Bogota is the capital." I say, "Yes. Hi, how are you? I'm in Bogota," and I don't know who she is. And then she said, "Look, man, you don't know me because at one moment you did a Zoom call and I was there invited by this guy." So this guy that I'm talking, the asshole. And she said, "And I remember you. You seem like a nice person. So I'd like to listen what you're doing right now." So she came, she signed up, and with her, because she was Colombian, I started building, and thanks to her, the team grew up to 18,000 people at one point. So what I'm trying to say, Alex, with this story, sometimes you don't know who is gonna react in which way. Sometimes the person that you think is gonna do the most is not gonna do anything. Sometimes the person that you think is not gonna do nothing is gonna be your best. The only thing you can do as a leader is you have to be available for them always when they're willing to work. Not for complainings, not to fill you up with negativity and toxicity. No, because one is human too. One doesn't need that. But for people that are willing to work, you have to be there. So the moral of this story, Alex, is don't try to decide for people. Let them decide for themselves. You give them the path, you show them what you have, you show them how you work, and then once you start signing up people, you start giving homework. Okay? For example, they ask you, so what do you recommend me to do in order to achieve a certain success here? And you say, okay, most of the people that start, they make a list. Okay? And the bigger the list, bigger the probabilities that you will have a very good team real quick. And then they come with a list of 6 people. And then I ask them, imagine if I'm selling you a sushi restaurant and then I'm charging you $300,000. If in your sushi restaurant you have a list of 6 people that might like sushi, how successful will you be? It's bankrupt week 1. So I tell them, wait, you come here, you tell me, teach me what you do. I want to make same money as you do, but then you're willing to do less than minimum, and that way doesn't make sense. So I make people think, okay? What I've learned in life is that you can motivate people and they'll get excited in that day and then go outside. It's cold and then motivation goes down and then tomorrow I have to motivate them again and like this in the circle. Or we can teach them so they start thinking. And once they start thinking, then they see what is real, what is not. Okay? So that's the way I do it, Alex. I start giving tasks and then I teach and I explain why it's important the task. Okay? For example, somebody might ask, but Korab, sending text 10 messages, 20 messages a day is very little. Yes, but at the moment that you have a team of 100 and 100 are sending 20 messages a day, you have 2,000 messages a day in your team, because it's not about just what you do, it's what people can do. Okay? But if I tell you, no, Alex, you know what? I have this person in my team. He does TikToks and he has 3 million views and he signs up 50 people from each TikTok. And you're like, fuck, now I have to become a TikToker? Now what do I do? Do I show my ass? What do I do? Do I go to a swimming pool? Like if you tell me, Korab, you have to be TikToker to be successful in network marketing, I give up, man. I'm married. What I'm gonna show? My kid? Like it's not much. It's not that easy, you know. So what I'm trying to say, this business is amazing if we do things that everybody can do. If we do something very elaborate, very complicated, it is working for you, good, keep doing it. But if it's not gonna duplicate, just remember that the regular people cannot do crazy things.
Okay, thank you, Korab. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem. Cool. Well, Emil, my brother, thank you for having me here. As you can see,
I
like
think
I'm very
Alexandria said
introvert.
one last question and then we can end it off.
Okay, yeah. Just can you explain when you have the prospect in the meeting, how do you build that conversation?
Okay, so you mean like when I'm just starting with prospect?
Mm,
Okay. So in sales, there's a process called breaking the ice or creating rapport with a prospect. So I before with if I'm with a prospect, most of people are like, okay, I have my prospect, I'm gonna open my PowerPoint and then I'm gonna vomit the business. Okay? Literally that's what we do. We vomit the business on them because they're like, wow, what the hell? Okay? So what I do usually, I take my time to make friends. Okay? So if imagine you come on a Zoom with me, even if it's just a Zoom, I start asking you, Alexandra, okay, your name sounds like you're from some parts of Europe. Which part? You're like, oh, maybe no, I was born here, but my family come from here. Okay, and what city do you live? And this and that, and what do you do? And do you have family? No, yeah, I have my boyfriend. I live with my boyfriend. No, I live, like people tell you things. Okay, so what do you work? What are your working hours? How far is your work? How much time free you have? What do you do in free time? So as we speak, I understand your world. The problem is that people go in a call, in a presentation, not to listen. They go in to talk. And that's the biggest problem. Because when you go on a business presentation with the mission to listen, you'll learn so much about the person that when you explain the business, you refer to the point. You say, hey, you remember that you told me that the work that you have kind of is taking a lot of energy out of you because the people that you work with, they're older, they don't understand when you talk about trading, when you talk about crypto, they see you as crazy. Well, here we build communities and most of us are younger. I mean, I'm the oldest guy probably in the whole team, but everybody's between 20s to 30s. So I feel you can find, because Alexandra, the problem is that everybody thinks that coming to a business, it's about that people need money. And that's far from the truth. Some people, like I didn't join the industry for money. If they would have just talked about money, I would have said these fucking guys, they just talk crazy things. They don't even look rich, so I'm not going to listen to them. But the fact that they got me from learning sales is what got me into this business. So everybody comes here for different things. Not everybody's for money. Yes, money is an important factor, but the money, as they say philosophically, is a mean to an end. The end is never money. Nobody says, wow, my dream is to fill my coffin with a lot of $100 bills and die in it. No, you need money so you can live. Okay? So, Alexandra, my recommendation is you take your time to know the person. Once you know them really, and then you have that trust, that rapport, and you start explaining business, even they will tell you, hey, you know what? You seem like a great person. Didn't understand none of the technical part. I don't know if trading is going to be for me or not. But you know what? I'll pay because I felt good talking to you. And I think something good will come out of it. Okay? I studied finance 6 years. That's what it takes sometimes to be good in finance or in investments and things. It's not like in 30 minutes speech people can understand what is trading, what is all these things that we're talking. But you know what? They care, Alexandra, to know how much you care about them. Okay? Now, clarification. We care about them, but we are not responsible for them. The responsibility is theirs to make the best out of this business. Because sometimes the problem is that people think that now, since you signed me up, it's your responsibility to make me rich. No, no, no. I tell them if that was the case, my father will be multimillionaire, my mother, my two brothers, and maybe some other people that have been with me through my life. I wouldn't come to you, somebody that I don't even know. But if you decide to make the best life out of you, I'll be there as a guide, 100% free to teach you how to get that curve, like the learning curve that they call it, to cut it in very few years. Okay, I've been working since what, 24 years now, 25 years. So I tell people, you can either wait like me and make mistakes for 25 years, or you can listen to my mistakes that I've made in 25 years and do the same thing in 5 years. It's your call. I'm here for that. I'm not here to work for you. I'm here to work with you and work in you so you can do the thing. Okay? Cool. Alexandra, did I respond to your question?
Yeah, thank you very much. It was really good
Perfect.
answer.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Wow.
Emil, anybody else or no?
No, I think that was it. We should let you keep going with your day also, but I'm super grateful for you taking your time. It was really a valuable call, and as I saw multiple times in all our group chats, I saw on WhatsApp, I saw on Telegram, I saw in the Zoom chat, everyone is appreciating this call, and everyone is super grateful to have you here. How you explain everything in a simple way, and I think everyone realized again, like because now we listen to you, and this Sunday we listen to Robert Hollis, and in the end, both said the same thing. Like you can do all these crazy things, but in the end, we need to do it so simple that every single one can do it. Because that's what matters in the end in this business. We need to find that simple task to be able to keep doing it over and over and over again, and just keep it simple. Because yeah, I really liked how you said everyone believe they are Apple, but to be honest, we are not. Like a few people will be that, and a few people will have that 100,000 plus followers and be able to build in a different way. And it's tools you can use at the same time, but we should always keep just doing the simple things that we know will get us paid long term. So really, thank you so much for explaining everything in a simple way. Thank you so much for taking time and answering questions and educating us. I'm just super grateful for that. So really, thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me, guys, and have a great night. And hopefully, I see you guys at one of the events. Come and say hello.
For sure.